Hello. In this seminar, I would like you to solve linear inequalities by using multiplication and division. When we start here, I want you to fill in the blank with a less than sign or a greater than sign. Remember, if a number is to the left on the number line, it's less than. If it's to the right on the number line, it's greater than. And so pause the video and fill in the 6 blanks. Okay, welcome back. I'm going to blow this up a little bit so we can take a look here. -1 is to the right of -3 on the number line, so -1 is greater than -3. 8 is to the right of -6 on the number line, so 8 is greater than -6. -5 is to the right of -7 on the number line, so -5 is greater than -7. And then 1 is less than 3. -8 is less than 6, and 5 is less than 7. Do you see a pattern here? First off, everything on the left was greater than, everything on the right was less than. Also, the column on the right is the opposite of the column on the left. That is, we just took the opposite numbers. I went from -1 to +1. I went from -3 to +3. That's the big difference between an inequality and an equation. When you have a negative, and when you make something negative with inequality, you got to flip the order of that inequality. We got to flip it from greater than to less than. We don't have to do that when we add or when we multiply or divide by a positive number. But if you multiply both sides of an inequality by a negative number, you flip the inequality. And I gave you a big old caution here. Just because there's a negative number in the problem doesn't mean we flip the inequality. If I divide both sides by 4, I'm dividing both sides by a positive. I don't flip the inequality. I did give you some examples here. So if you divide both sides by a -4, we flip the inequality. If we multiply both sides by a -8, we flip the inequality. And then I did a couple of examples there that are incorrect also for you to look at. Let's take a look at example 1. It says, Mateo is walking at a rate of 3/4 of a mile per hour. He knows that it is at least 9 miles to Onyx Lake. I'm going to highlight at least. How long will it take Mateo to get there? Write and solve an inequality to find the time. So we're going to say he can walk 3/4 of a mile every hour. So I'm going to say 3/4 times the number of hours. At least means, what does at least mean? It means it's greater than or equal to, because we're going to, in this case, it's greater than or equal to 9. I don't know what happened there. Let me rewrite that. 9. Now let's solve this. Well, to solve this, I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. So I get 3h is greater than or equal to 36. Divide both sides by 3. H is greater than or equal to 12. So what's happening is going to take him at least 12 hours to walk. Now, if I take a look at example 2, I want to solve -3/7 r is greater than 21, and I want to put my solution on the number line. So I think what I'm going to do first off, I'm just going to copy down the problem. So I'm going to say -3/7 times r is greater than 21. Well, the opposite of dividing is multiply. I'm going to multiply both sides by 7. So then we get -3r is greater than, let me see, 1 times 7 is 7, 7 times 2 is 147. Now we'll divide both sides by a negative. This is where you got to be careful. When you divide both sides by a negative, before you do anything else, flip the order of your inequality. So it's going to go from greater than to less than. So then R, then 147 divided by 3. Let me see, 3 goes into 14 3 times. Three times 4 is 12. Yep. Let's try that again. It's got to be a bigger answer there. Okay, 147 divided by 3. Sorry about that. So it goes in there 4 times with 2 left over. 3 goes into 27 9 times. So R is less than 49. Now when you graph this on a number line, you must have 49 on your number line. Whatever number I'm comparing, I like to put a number to the left and to the right of it. So what I suggest you do is we'll put 49 here. To the right is 50. To the left will be 48. Now R is less than 49, so it does not include 49. So what happens, I'm going to put an open circle right here on 49 to say I'm going all the way up to 49, but it's not including 49. Then I'm going to shade everything to the left because that's less than. And I usually fill in my arrowhead too to show that it goes on forever. Notice, if you put the variable on the left side, left-hand side, whatever direction your inequality points, that's the part you shade on the number line. Just as a review.